What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm doing race picks for the 2020 Federated Autoports for 100, presented by Salute to the Heroes. Let's go and just jump straight into it. This weekend, Nascar heads to Richmond International Speedway for the second round of 3 in the round of 16, and also the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series Plus, and the 28th race at the 3/4 mile track, the first of 2 short tracks on in the playoffs of the round of 16, and I think we'll see some pretty solid racing. We'll probably see some long runs, and we'll probably see some short runs in the race as well. Before we jump into picks, and look at the playoff standings, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. The weather looks really, really good. Once again, the high of the day is going to be 84 degrees, and it looks like there's only a 10% chance of rain. Keep in mind, we still have a couple days till the race takes place, and the weather can definitely change, especially in Richmond. It could change very, very rapidly, but it does not look like the weather is going to change rapidly, and it looks like the weather should be good going into this weekend. So now let's go ahead and also now take a look at the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs going into round number 2. So Denny Hamlin, after winning the Southern 500 a couple days ago, he was able to lock his way in with the win. Kyle Larson sits 80 points above the cutoff line. Mark Truex Jr. sits 36 points above the cutoff line at this moment. Kurt Busch right now sits 26 points above the cutoff line. Ryan Blaney sits 22 ahead. Joe Logano sits 21 ahead of the cutoff line. Kevin Harvick sits 20 points ahead of the cutoff line right now. Brakazoski sits 12 above the cutoff line. Cristobal sits 5 points ahead of the cutoff line. Chase Elliott sits 4 above the cutoff line. Eric Almirola, shockingly, is 3 points above the cutoff line. And Tyler Reddick sits 0 points above the cutoff line with the tiebreaker over the drivers we'll talk about next. Alex Owen is the first driver currently out of playoffs, 0 points behind his seat right now. He would be out due to a tiebreaker. Kyle Busch is 2 points outside of the cutoff line in 14th in the points. William Byron is 9 points out of the cutoff line, and Michael McDowell is the last driver currently in the playoffs, 20 points outside of the cutoff line. So now, after looking at that, let's jump into the picks. For those of you who are new to the channel and new subscribers we've had recently, for those of you who are new, here's how I do picks on the channel. I do similar to the NASCAR Weekly podcast. I do a suck pick, the driver that generally is going to struggle, who kind of runs up front or is in mid-tier equipment, who's going to struggle. An underdog pick, a driver that doesn't always run in front, I think is going to contend and have a good run. And a driver I think is going to win overall. And I do the ones you need to watch out for this weekend. And I have 4 you need to keep an eye on for this weekend's race at Richmond. So now let's jump into the picks. Who's going to suck here at Richmond International Speedway? My suck pick for this race at Richmond is going to be Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, historically here at Richmond, has absolutely struggled, and he has a lot of momentum coming in this weekend. He didn't have a great run, though, at Darlington to kick off the playoffs after a flat tire late in the event. I don't think Ryan Blaney is going to have a good run. He does, I think, have one top 10 or one top 15 at this track. But besides that, he's absolutely struggled historically at the track. I don't think overall Ryan Blaney is going to have the speed. I think that 12 car is overall going to struggle. And I don't see Ryan Blaney getting a top 10. I think Ryan Blaney will have a shot of getting a top 15 this weekend. But I think that he's going to be going into Bristol looking to hopefully get enough points and have enough clinch because he's not as good of a position as other drivers are right now. I think Ryan Blaney is going to struggle this weekend here at Richmond. And now we're going to jump onto the underdog pick. Who is my underdog pick for Richmond? My underdog pick is going to be a non-playoff driver. This driver had one of the most standout performances. He was in the playoffs last year, and he had a top 5 car. As a matter of fact, it looked like at points he had probably the car to beat, and it was very, very shocking considering the car that he was in. This team, I think, is going to give the other driver of this team a really stout pace because they've been really good at this track historically. But my underdog pick is going to be Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon tends to run in the top 5 or top 10. This track, his average finish is really, really surprisingly really, really good. I think Austin Dillon's going to have a really strong run. I would not be surprised if Austin Dillon has the best run of a non-playoff driver this week, and I would not be surprised if he does get another top 5 historically here at Richmond. I think that Austin Dillon is going to have a very strong run, and I think that he actually will potentially get a top 5 this weekend here at Richmond International Speedway. And now we're going to jump onto the winner's pick for this weekend at Richmond. Who is my winner's pick? My winner's pick has been historically really, really good at this track. I believe he has 1 win at this track back in 2019 in the fall race, in this race. And not to mention at the 750 horsepower package races, this driver has been really, really superb. Now, this past week at Darlington, he didn't go as smooth as he could have, but he would bounce back to a very strong run. And he is starting up front this weekend at Richmond. And he arguably had one of the fastest cars the last time we were here at Richmond before getting a speeding penalty late. But he still drove his way all the way back into the top 10. My winner's pick is going to be Martin Truex Jr. I think Martin Truex Jr. is going to bounce back this weekend after a few issues late in the event. I think Martin Truex Jr., unlike last time, I don't think he's going to get a speeding penalty, and I think that he's going to pick up his 4th win of the 2021 season, and I think he's going to lock his way into the round of 12, and he will pick up his first win since all the way back at Darlington, which was another 750 horsepower package. I think Mark Truex Jr. is going to get it done this weekend at Richmond. And now we're going to jump on to ones that you need to watch out for this weekend at Richmond International Speedway. Who are the ones that you need to keep an eye on? The first one that you need to watch out for this weekend is going to be a driver that won this past weekend at Darlington and has been historically really, really good at this track and had the best car the last time we were at Richmond. He was really, really strong here until late race caution came out. He got beat by Alex Bowman late. I don't think that happens this time where he gets a late race yellow. I think Denny Hamlin's going to have a very strong run. I think he's a very strong contender, and I think he'll be Mark Truex Jr.'s biggest threat in this race. I think that Denny Hamlin will have a good shot of helping himself and get potentially more playoff points, might win a stage throughout this event. I think Denny Hamlin's going to have a very strong run at Richmond. The second driver I need to watch out for has been historically hit or miss at this track. However, this driver does have a win here at Richmond back in 2017 in the playoffs. And on top of that, he has been good at certain points at tracks we never thought he was going to do good. Remember Sonoma earlier this year where he went on to dominate and pretty much win the race in pretty dominant fashion where he historically has not been great with the Chip Ganassi cars. I think Kyle Larson is the second one you need to keep an eye on. I just think Kyle Larson is going to have a good run. I think the Hendrick team, this 5 team, is really going to pick it up, and I think that Kyle Larson has a strong shot at getting a top 5 this weekend at Richmond. I know it's a little bit frustrating for some of you because Kyle Larson's not been great here, but I think Kyle Larson has a good run this weekend. The third driver we need to watch out for this weekend's race at Richmond, I think is going to be Brakazoski. Now, Brakazoski this year in 2021 has been kind of hit or miss. However, 2 times ago here back in the fall, the last time we ran here in the fall, Brakazoski arguably had the best car and dominated a race, had a lot of laps led, and he has been good at a lot of the 750 package races. So I think that Brakazoski is going to have a very strong shot of getting a top 5. I don't think he overall wins the race, but I think Brakazoski is going to have an excellent and a very strong run this weekend here at Richmond and help himself in a position in the points. And the final driver we need to watch out for, I think he's going to have a bounce-back weekend. After a struggling race at Darlington and crashing out a third of the way through the race and basically almost running into people on pit road, I think that Kyle Busch has a very strong bounce-back weekend. You look at Kyle Busch historically at this track at Richmond. He's won here a couple times. He wasn't as good the last time we ran here in the fall. Wasn't as good the last time we ran in the spring. But I think this team is going to dial it in, and I think that Kyle Busch will have a very strong shot and put himself back into plus and just make sure he has enough points going into Bristol, where he's also historically really good at that track. So that is my last driver I need to keep an eye on. So those are my picks. So just a reminder, my suck pick is Ryan Blaney, my underdog is Austin Dillon, and my winner's pick is Mark Truex Jr. And the ones you need to keep an eye on are Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Brakazoski, and Kyle Busch. So anyway, that is it for today's race picks video for the Federated Auto Parts 400 presented by Salute to the Heroes. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications so you're notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support our page as well. Link description below for that. And combo your race picks for this weekend here at Richmond. Who is your suck pick? Who is your underdog pick? Who is your winner's pick? And who do you think is going to be ones you need to keep an eye on this weekend at Richmond? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I'll see you guys next time for some more great and awesome NASCAR content like this on the channel. Take care, everybody.